Hello and welcome to the Sana Psychological Podcast, your safe space for connection, healing, and growth. Each episode, our experienced clinicians and special guests will share strategies, stories, and resources to support your unique path to well-being. Because at Sana, your mental health matters. Let me start with a question. When was the last time you felt happy? And I don't mean the big milestone kind of happy, not the I got the job or I went on vacation or everything in my life is perfect happy. I mean the small kind, the quiet kind, the kind that shows up for a second and then disappears if you're not paying attention. That's exactly what we're talking about today, the concept of micro joys. I'm Paige Abbott. Thank you so much for joining our podcast episode today. If you are like me, you are a quester for happiness, self-development, betterment. And this concept of microjoys is something that I am all over because I'm such a big believer in these micro moments of change. So why wouldn't that apply to the concept of joy and happiness too? So what are microjoys? Microjoys are those tiny moments of pleasure, comfort, or connection that really don't look like much, but they add up to a greatly meaningful life. They're actually the things that when I, as a therapist, encourage people to get into the routine of doing a gratitude practice, that I really want them to focus on. Unfortunately, when people step into a gratitude practice, it's easy to get caught up in looking at those bigger moments of gratitude. So grateful for the people in your life, the things that you have, the big moments that happened in that day. And don't get me wrong, while that's a good thing to do for our mental health, it can run stale. And after a couple of days, people hit a bit of a wall with that gratitude, or they keep saying the same things over and over again, and it becomes stale. And when things become stale, that's an easy place for things to become complacent in our minds. So that's often when the gratitude practice falls to the wayside. So maybe a microjoys practice is actually something that we could keep going. Microjoys are not achievements, they're not rewards, they don't require money, productivity, achievement, anything like that. They're simple moments like taking a deep breath and realizing that your shoulders just relaxed. Or if you're anything like me, your shoulders came down from your ears about an inch or two when you just take that nice breath. Laughing at something unexpectedly is another wonderful microjoy moment. Feeling cozy for no particular reason. I know a lot of us in the mental health field, and you as well, may have heard of this concept of hygge. It's rooted in the Danish word for cozy, but it's so much more than just being cozy. It's this idea of encompassing a feeling of contentment and comfort. So it's that feeling that you have not just when you have a cup of tea in your hand, but that feeling you have when you have that cup of tea, you're staring at the warmth of a fireplace, you're feeling cozy under a blanket, and you just feel utterly cocooned, content, and safe in the world. Other cultures, obviously, like the Danish culture, embrace these ideas of these cozy moments. Why can't we bring that into all of our moments? This idea of not taking things for granted. And that's the thing with microjoys. They are really easy to miss. They're fleeting. They're small. They are micro. They're not going to be around for long. So what if we actually pay attention and enjoy them while they're here? What power, what enthusiasm, and what incredible self-development potential those would have for us. We're often taught, whether explicitly or implicitly, that joy is something we have to earn. We have to wait for it after the work is done, after the success, after you've reached that milestone. But if joy is always postponed, then life just becomes one long waiting session. And I don't think we want to wait anymore. We want to enjoy what's happening right here, right now. Life is always going to be this integration of things that are going well, things that are positive, things that we're enjoying, mixed in with things that we're working on, things that are hard, things that don't feel good. There's very rarely moments where all of the uncomfortable and productivity stuff is at a quiet place, where it's settled, where it's wrapped up, where it's where we want it to be. And if that's when we're waiting to experience joy and happiness, what a sad thing, because those moments are so fleeting that maybe we get them, 2%, 5% of the time? We don't want to be just experiencing joy 2 or 5% of the time. We want to be able to connect with it anytime, all the time. So let's go through some examples of micro joys. And I mean a lot of examples, and certainly this is not extensive. Micro joys are expansive. There's so many different ones, and they're so personal. The things that matter to me are going to be different than the things that matter to you. But these are examples to get you thinking in this direction of small scale. Look for those fleeting moments that we can grab onto and embrace that sense of joy, comfort, safety, and just see what that'll have to offer to you. Everyday sensory micro joys. Some examples of that could be that first sip of coffee or tea, when it's just the right temperature, when it's just the right flavor, when you can take that moment to just sit and actually drink it in. What a lovely moment. Having a fresh made bed and clean sheets to get into at the end of your day. The smell, the softness, the feel of them. Joyful? For some, yes. For others, you may not have even noticed. And maybe that's a starting point of micro joys for you. It's just starting to tune in and look at what matters to you. What are the things that you really enjoy and really appreciate? Is it the smell of rain when you're outside and that petrichor as it's starting to come in and soak the earth? Is it the smell of snow? Is it the look of snow? Appreciating a snowflake and what it looks like on the pavement or on your hand. Sunlight coming through a window at just the right angle, hitting you, hitting the floor, hitting your animal. It's beautiful, right? There can be micro joys in movement. Catching a green light when you thought that you would need to stop when you're driving on the road. Walking outside, just that feel of your body moving, the weather around you, the environment. That moment when your body is finding its rhythm during a dance, a yoga class, a workout, or just a walk right around your neighborhood. Standing up after sitting too long, that nice stretch. Maybe being like a cat, just finding that joy in that movement for that moment before you carry on with the rest of your day. Microjoys can come in the social and the emotional. Someone remembering something small about you, a memory, checking in on something, providing you a compliment. A genuine smile or a nod from a stranger, a hello as you're walking in passing. An inside joke with a friend, a colleague, or a family member that still makes you laugh when you think of it years later. Remembering that moment of connection with your colleagues during the day when you had a moment, you felt collaborative, you felt like you were part of something. You went on and carried forward with the rest of the busyness of your day, but for that moment, you felt connected, you felt excited, you felt safe. Sending a message and getting an immediate reply from somebody to help move things forward or make you smile, make you laugh, make you content. There can be cozy and comfort micro joys. Going back to the Danish concept for cozy, the hygge idea. Wrapping yourself in that blanket fresh from the dryer. The quiet hum of a dishwasher or a washing machine, creating that white noise in the background that you find soothing. The crackle of a fireplace, the flicker of a flame on a candle. Wearing your favorite shirt or hoodie or pajamas, feeling cozy, feeling comfortable. canceled plans that you secretly hope would be canceled. This is personally one of my favorites. I do find a lot of joy of missing out, what we would call JOMO. I know in life we focus a lot on FOMO, the fear of missing out, but sometimes it feels nice to have your own time, have your own space to do what you want. That can be a micro joy. Being home with nowhere that you have to be, playing a game that you enjoy. There can be micro joys of accomplishment, checking something off your to-do list, even if it feels like the smallest thing. I built a block of Lego to prop up a pipe in my kitchen sink. Plumbers would not approve, but it felt good. That was a moment of micro joy. I felt a sense of accomplishment. I was taking care of my house, and I was stopping the water from running out of the sink when it was draining. All of those things felt really good. Did it last for very long? I don't know. I couldn't tell you, but I can remember the moment and I can remember how it felt. Clearing your inbox, getting rid of some emails, decluttering your physical space, noticing a drawer, tidying it up. All of these things can be those moments of micro joy that when we think about all of these things put together, if you had 2, 3, 4, 5 or more of these in a day, that becomes significant. And that's how the micro can feed into the macro. That if these are the things that we're noticing and paying attention to, it adds up. I know for myself, a number of years ago, this goes way back now, I issued myself a gratitude challenge. It was a tool that I'd often recommended to people in session. And to be honest with you, it wasn't a tool that I used a whole lot myself. So I thought I am going to be conscious and purposeful about daily points of gratitude. And I have to admit, the first few days I did it, it felt like a gratitude practice that most of you, when you've started, have probably felt too. It felt forced, it felt awkward, and it didn't really feel like much. It just felt like a task on my to-do list. But I kept persevering. It was my goal to do that daily gratitude practice for at least a month and see how it felt. And something really interesting started to happen. I was focused on what I would now call these micro joys, so these micro moments of gratitude that had happened in my day. And about a week into my gratitude practice, I remember pulling up at work into my parking spot, and all of a sudden, my attention was just caught by the beauty of the sky. And I thought to myself, when was the last time that I'd noticed the beauty of the sky? And I couldn't even remember. It's so easy to become mindless and just focused on taking our environment and our scenery for granted. And I remember just sitting in that parking lot in my vehicle, took a few minutes before I went into work, and enjoyed the beauty of the sky. And I knew at that moment that my enjoyment of the beauty of the sky, it was all thanks to that gratitude or that micro joy practice. That by daily and intentionally focusing on this for just a few moments of my day, I was retraining my brain. I was training my brain to look for what it appreciated and what was going well compared to what wasn't going well, or just being numbed and dulled to all of it. So not only in that moment was I grateful for the beauty of the sky, the clouds, the sunshine, but I was also grateful for the practice itself. And that motivated me to keep going. Now, did that daily gratitude practice continue ad infinitum? No, it didn't. I'm a human being as well. Things fall off, they come and they go. But I have to say that there's still an essence. Every day, I do still, in some way, at some time, it's not formal, I don't sit down and journal it, I don't do it at a set time every day, but every day I've programmed my brain to pay attention to these things. And whether it's in the moment or whether it's in reflection afterwards, I do pay attention to these micro moments. Even right now, as I'm doing this podcast taping, I am noticing the coldness of my feet, but I'm also noticing the comfort that I'm appreciating about the slippers that I'm wearing. I'm noticing the comfort of the headset on me and just the beauty of the light and in the room that's around me. These are all things that regular practice of gratitude or microjoys can offer us. We're training our brain to look at things in a different way. Without even knowing it, through the actions that we take in a day, we have trained our brains to be where we are at this moment. And if that's not a place that you want to be or want to stay at, this is your invitation to shift it, do something different. We can take that time, it only takes a moment or two, to ask yourself, what are the microjoys that I'm noticing today, or even right in this moment? And if we do this consistently, just as I noticed, it takes a bit of time. For some, it might take longer than a week. For some, the benefits might start to show up sooner. But at some point, you notice that click where you're starting to look at things differently. You're starting to now focus on things that you might have ignored or that you might have blown past in your day. And that's the interesting part of this practice, and that's the power of this practice. So just pausing for a moment when something feels good, noticing it, naming it, and acknowledging to yourself, this is nice, this feels good, this is comfortable, I like this. And let yourself enjoy it as much as you can without rushing past it. If you can give yourself this 2 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, maybe it even becomes a minute or two, that energy will start to translate into the rest of your day and the moments that come after that. Microjoys may be named micro, but they have a lot of power and a lot of big potential within them. And again, this is your invitation and your gentle encouragement to focus on them, pay attention to them, and invite them in. If you really want to delve into this practice, another way that you can do it is to even take a few moments to sit down and reflect or write down what are some examples of microjoys for you. Knowing what they may be the next time that they show up, that might encourage you to pay more attention to them. You can do it as a daily reflective practice. You can do it as a daily journaling practice. You can do it as a moment-to-moment mindfulness practice. Just every once in a while, tuning into what's a source of microjoy for me right at this moment. Is it something I can smell, something I'm feeling, something I'm seeing, something I'm thinking about? This is our gateway to that connection. I hope that these moments of microjoy will allow you to see your life, your world, yourself differently, because they do have so much magnitude behind them. And I hope that, just like myself, you'll start to notice the things that you've been complacent to and ignoring in your day-to-day life. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to having you join us next time. Thank you for listening to the Sana Psychological Podcast. We're glad you joined us today. For more resources, free tools, or to book a session with our team, visit sanapsychological.com. Your mental health is our priority. Until next time, be gentle with yourself and take good care.